My name is Riley, I'm 17, and last New Year's Eve my entire family drove 3 hours to my aunt's lake house for the biggest party of the year, and they left me behind, not by accident, on purpose, because I wasn't important enough to remember. Do you want to know how being forgotten on the one night families are supposed to be together turned into the revenge that made them all face what they'd done to me? Stay until the end, and you'll see exactly how I made sure this new year became the one they could never forget. It started the morning of December 31st. My mom was running around the kitchen, packing coolers, loading bags into the car, barking orders at my younger brother Tyler and my older sister. "Madison, get your stuff in the car," she yelled. "We're leaving in 20 minutes. I was upstairs finishing an essay for school that was due right after winter break when I heard the car door slam. I looked out my window and saw my dad starting the engine, Mom climbing into the passenger seat, Tyler and Madison arguing over who got the back window seat. "Wait," I said out loud. Even though no one could hear me, I ran downstairs, 2 steps at a time, and burst through the front door just as the car started backing out of the driveway. I waved my arm, shouting, "Wait, Mom, Dad, I'm not in the car yet," but the music was too loud. The windows were up and nobody turned around. I watched our car disappear down the street, taillights fading into the gray winter afternoon. My breath came out in clouds. I was still in my pajamas, barefoot, on the frozen driveway, holding my phone in one shaking hand. They forgot me. I called my mom 6 times. It rang and went to voicemail. Every single time I texted the family group chat, "Hello, I'm still at home. Did anyone notice?" Nobody replied. For 4 hours while I sat alone on the couch, wrapped in a blanket, staring at my phone, jumping every time I heard a car outside, hoping it was them coming back. Finally, at 6 p.m., my mom texted, "Oh my God, Riley, I'm so sorry. We thought you were already in the car. We're already at the lake house. It's too far to come back. Tonight you'll be fine, right? There's food in the fridge. We'll see you tomorrow." That's it. No phone call, no apology, just a text like I was a missed grocery item, not her daughter. I stared at those words until they blurred. "You'll be fine, right?" Like it was a question she didn't actually need answered. I walked to the kitchen, opened the fridge, and found half a carton of milk, some leftover Chinese food from 3 days ago, and a bag of baby carrots. That was it. That was what she thought would be fine. I sat at the kitchen table alone in the silent house, and something inside me cracked. Not sadness, not yet. Anger, cold, sharp clarity. They didn't forget to bring me. They forgot I existed. And when I texted back, "I'm 17, you left me alone on New Year's Eve," my mom replied, "Riley, don't be dramatic. You're practically an adult. We'll celebrate when we get home tomorrow." Dramatic? I stared at that word for a long time. Then I opened my notes app and started writing a list every time they'd ignored me. Every birthday where Tyler got a party and I got a card. Every recital Madison attended while I sat in the audience alone. Every family photo I had to beg to be included in. Every single time I was the afterthought, the backup plan, the kid they forgot. I titled the note "Evidence," because that's exactly what it was. That night, while my family was toasting champagne and counting down to midnight at a party I wasn't invited to, I sat in the dark living room with my phone, recording a video, my face lit only by the glow of the screen. "It's 11:58 p.m. on New Year's Eve," I said quietly, "and I'm completely alone. My family left me. They didn't come back. They told me not to be dramatic." I paused, looking straight into the camera. "If you're watching this, it means I finally showed someone what it's really like to be the invisible kid." I saved the video, turned off my phone, and waited for midnight when the fireworks started outside. I didn't go watch. I just sat there in the dark, crying silently, so nobody who wasn't there could hear me. The next afternoon, they came home loud and laughing, smelling like lake water and barbecue. "Riley, we're back," my mom called, like it was any normal Sunday, like nothing had happened. I stayed in my room. I heard them unpacking downstairs, talking about how amazing the party was, how everyone asked where I was lying, saying I had been sick. Madison knocked on my door. "Hey, you okay?" I didn't answer. She opened it anyway. "Mom feels bad," she said, but like it was an honest mistake. "We just thought you were already in the car." "An honest mistake," I repeated, sitting up, looking at her. "You didn't notice I wasn't there for 4 hours?" She shrugged. "Riley, you're always off doing your own thing. We figured you were reading or whatever." She left my door open like she'd done her sisterly duty. I grabbed my notebook, my phone, and the folder where I'd started collecting things, report cards. They never signed permission slips I had to forge birthday cards with. Generic messages, hope you have a great day, love mom. School events listed on the family calendar that only Madison and Tyler's names were highlighted on. I didn't go downstairs for dinner when my mom called me. I texted back, not hungry. An hour later, she came to my room. What's going on with you? She asked, arms crossed. Why are you being like this? Like what? I asked calmly. Like I was forgotten. She rolled her eyes. We said we were sorry. It was a mistake. People make mistakes, Mom. You didn't even realize I wasn't there until 6 p.m.? That's not a mistake. That's neglect. Her face went red. Don't you dare use that word. We feed you, we house you, we pay for everything you need. Oh, so as long as I'm fed, I should just accept being forgotten. I shot back, you left me alone on New Year's Eve, and your response was, don't be dramatic. Do you have any idea what that feels like? She stared at me, then shook her head. You're being ridiculous. I'm going back downstairs. When you're ready to stop playing the victim, you can join us. She left. I wasn't playing the victim. I was done being one, though. Next day, I went back to school. Winter break was over, and in my psychology class, we had a new semester assignment: document a personal case study of family dynamics and present your findings. I stared at the rubric, and a cold smile spread across my face. I knew exactly what my project would be. I titled it The Invisible Child, a case study in parental neglect and family hierarchy. I included everything: my notes, the timeline of forgotten events, screenshots of unanswered texts, the video I'd recorded on New Year's Eve. I analyzed it clinically like a researcher. No emotion, just facts, data patterns. I wrote about the psychological impact of being the least prioritized child, the long-term consequences of chronic emotional neglect, how families create invisible hierarchies without ever admitting it. My teacher, Mrs. Chen, read my draft during office hours and looked at me with something like shock. Riley, this is this autobiographical? I nodded. Every word. Then I think you need to show this to someone, she said gently. A counselor, your parents, someone who can help. This isn't just a school project anymore, is it? No, I admitted. It's evidence. 2 weeks later, I presented my project in front of the class. I stood at the front with my slides projected behind me, and I told my story calmly, clearly, without crying. The room was dead silent when I finished the video of me alone on New Year's Eve. My classmates stared. Some looked uncomfortable, some angry. One girl in the back was crying. Mrs. Chen's jaw was tight. You could hear people breathing. That's when I said, and my parents still don't think anything is wrong after class. 3 of my classmates came up to me. One hugged me without asking. Another said my parents did the same thing to me. And the third said, you're so brave for saying it out loud. I didn't feel brave. I felt like I'd ripped open a wound in front of strangers. But Mrs. Chen pulled me aside. This needs to go further, she said. I'm mandating a meeting with the school counselor, and I'm recommending we contact your parents. I panicked. Will I get in trouble? No, she said firmly, but they might. That meeting happened on a cold Friday afternoon. My parents sat across from me in the counselor's office, looking confused and annoyed. The counselor, Miss Reyes, had my project printed out in front of her. Mr. and Mrs. Parker, she began, your daughter has brought some concerning patterns to our attention. My mom cut her off. This is about New Year's Eve, isn't it, Riley? We apologized. It was one time. It wasn't one time, I said, my voice steady. I've documented years. Ms. Reyes slid the packet across the table. Birthdays, holidays, school events, all ignored or forgotten. This shows a clear pattern of emotional neglect. My dad's face went red. This is ridiculous. We're good parents. We provide everything. That's not what this is about, Miss Reyes said calmly. Providing basic needs isn't the same as emotional presence. Your daughter recorded herself alone on a major holiday because you forgot her. That's not a small mistake. My mom looked at the video still frame on the page. Her face went pale. We thought she'd be fine, she stammered. She's almost an adult. She needed us to remember she was your child first, I said, and you didn't. The room went quiet. My dad looked at me, really looked at me, maybe for the first time in years. Riley, he started, then stopped. I don't know what you want from us. I want you to see me, I said simply. I want to matter. I want to stop being the kid you remember. Last, Ms. Reyes recommended family therapy. My parents agreed reluctantly, mostly because the school made it clear this wasn't optional. On the drive home, nobody spoke. When we pulled into the driveway, my mom finally turned around. Riley, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was that bad. That's the problem, I said it. Shouldn't have taken a school counselor and a presentation for you to realize. Therapy started the next week. It was awkward, painful, uncomfortable. My parents didn't like hearing that they'd failed me. Madison and Tyler sat in on one session, and even they started seeing it. The favorites, the forgotten, the imbalance. It didn't fix everything overnight, but it started something. And that New Year's Eve, exactly 1 year later, we stayed home, all of us. My mom asked me 3 times that day if I was okay, if I needed anything. My dad made my favorite dinner. Madison set up a movie marathon. At 11:50 p.m., they gathered around me, not the TV, not their phones, me. And when the countdown started, they shouted the numbers together, looking right at me. Happy New Year, Riley, my mom said, tears in her eyes. I love you too, I said. And this time I believed she meant it. Revenge isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just refusing to stay invisible and making sure the people who forgot you finally see the damage they caused. So if your family ever left you behind, would you stay silent, or would you make them remember?